Good day, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. So, I've discussed it in another video, this idea that you just need to think about something else, that it's not technically complex, difficult, but not complex. And I wanted to just expand on that because I think it's such an important point. And one of my really good friends used to say this when I was growing up. Hey, yeah, I was like, how do you deal with this stuff? And he's like, I just think about something else. I just don't think about it. I never got it. For me, it never made sense. Like, well, if you don't think about it, it's still there. It'll still consume you. But he was correct. It's possible to do that, to just simply not think about things that you don't need to think about. Now, this might sound like Sam Harris might say, like, all I'm saying is, in order to walk a tightrope, you just need to put one foot in front of the other. That's it. And then leaving out all that, the devil in the details of how to do that. But generally, the end goal of this thing is to think the thoughts about things that are useful. That's what we want to be doing, right? There's no point in thinking about things compulsively that aren't useful. If you're not coming to any useful conclusion, there's no point. And I think it needs a couple of things. You need to have confidence in a couple of things. One, you need to have this confidence that your mind is actually doing a lot of work in the background. You don't need to be. And that's why I think, even if you don't think about something, it can still be working in the background and producing this halo of emotion. That's fine. Like that thing that you're worried about, let it go work in the background and generate a halo of emotion. But don't put your specific, conscious thought towards that thing. Instead, put your conscious thought towards the thing you can actually do. And this is the whole point of, Stephen Covey's idea of, hey, just surf with concern. Like, make sure that you're directing your attention, your conscious attention to things that you can directly influence. And that's usually for me, for a work point of view, it's just like, okay, these are the projects I'm doing. And I can't think about, hey, the projects I can't get to, or the things that might go wrong that I've done everything I can to control. Or even if I haven't done, this is a key, even if I haven't done anything to control, I've calendarized a time to think about these things in depth. So you have a project you're doing, okay, there's some issues, you're like, man, I need to worry about this because this could really this could derail things. So you're like, okay, but I can't deal with it because I've got to do this thing. So what I'll do is I'll put aside this time in my calendar to think deeply about this. I'll have that deep thought session, maybe talk to someone who would help me with it. That's how you do it. Exactly the same in the personal life. You're going throughout your day, you want to get some things done. You want to, if you have this idea of, hey, if you're written down, for instance, for me, like a little mantra of how you want to live your life moment by moment, and then you've written down some aims, just an overarching general aim, not anything specific, not anything highfalutin, just, okay, well, I guess my life should mean something towards the end. So let's see what is it that it should mean, and then writing that down. So overall, every day you should be kind of driving towards that, and then setting aside the time to consider the negative things of life, things that will stop you doing that, but not to focus on them in the moment. Sure, to pay attention to the negative thoughts and write them down when they're relevant. Like, okay, I should talk to this person or deal with this problem or this is a danger and risk. Write that down and then make sure you spend that time strategically considering those risks. And especially when it comes down to things about, say, my job, and I'm like, oh, I really don't want to do this job now. Maybe I should do something totally different. That's fine. That's a reasonable thought to have. Again, it's sort of a negative thought, but a reasonable one. So again, set aside that time. For me, it's on a Saturday. And I try and make it like a Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday of when I sit down just for a few minutes on the Monday, Wednesday, and then really a full day Saturday. Saturday to me is my day. I've finished off my work for the week. Sunday, if I need to do extra stuff to prepare for work next week, that's a Sunday job. Saturday for me is that time when I'm considering my life. And so the career issues are in the Saturday. That's when I might do my resume stuff, apply for my job, or that might bleed to a Sunday. But basically that's a time that I want to think about just the things that I really want to drive towards. And so the whole idea of that is not the Saturday in itself is important. It's the fact that means in the other times of my life, I can focus on the goal, not worrying about whether I've got the right strategic aim, to know that every week I've set aside that time to deal with it. So again, it is that simple. Just think about something else and accept the halo of emotion, and make sure that you're also then setting aside the time to dig deeply into what's generating that halo. So think about something else in the sort of tactical environment, but set aside that strategic environment. And if it's really bothering you, it's totally fine. And many workplaces like my own have a psychologist or a counsellor on site, and that's totally fine. Book that time to talk to a counsellor. If you need a psychologist, psychiatrist, book that time separate from it. And then that's even better. That's really professionally segregating it. You booked a time with a professional, and then you can kind of go, hey, look, I'm just going to get through the moment by moment experience, deal with the hail of emotion, and maybe write down these negative thoughts that are coming to me so I can understand what I need to do in the future. But I'm going to book time with a professional to deal with it if you need to. Do you get it? So it is a neat system, I think, of doing it this way, of just think about something else if you don't need to be thinking about the negative thing, and write down the thought or whatever so you can deal with it later in a time and place of your own choosing. Fight those battles in the time and place of your choosing. Fight the demons of your mind in the time and place of your choosing. And you'd like to be successful. I think Jocko will be proud of me for saying that. Or probably not. He'd probably have something to say about that. But maybe Goggins will be proud. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good weekend. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.